Well, welcome to Survivor Fiji, folks.
Yeah,
All right,
we're here. We're
we're
in
back.
getting close to the end game right here.
Yep, and there's been a couple. Well, I always say this, but we're like a week late in saying this. So there was a point where there was
Mm,
a couple weeks between episodes. If you ever see that, it's never by design. It's usually there's some sort of technical hiccup that prevents us from being able to record an episode that week. It's not like we're just like fuck
yeah,
Survivor for that week. We always
no,
want to
yeah.
watch Survivor.
It's been nightmarish. In fact, how it's just been rough. I don't know. It's just every at every turn there's something's going wacky and weird, and
There's always
but we're
something.
we're here and it's always something. That's for sure. But it's the curse of Mookie because he's out
Yeah.
as of the next episode.
Yeah, last episode,
As
Mookie was voted out. And anything else worth noting from last episode to lead into this one?
this one, well, I mean, it was interesting because Alex switched his vote, I guess, to stay alive. It seemed like it was.
Yeah, well, it made the
I don't know.
difference between because they wanted to go to a tie
Yeah,
and then vote Alex out on the revote, but
yeah.
they did
It
not
ended up working in
anticipate
his
Alex
favor.
just voting for Mookie. That's all he had to do.
Yeah, they even said that it's like let's split the vote, and that just seemed like one of the worst ideas that I've ever heard in Survivor history. And like it's not like the worst thing ever. It's not like I'm gonna vote for people in alphabetical order bad, but it's
I mean,
but that's at the beginning of the game, man.
it's an ultra
Yeah,
defensive
it's
measure, is what it is.
yeah for kind of no reason. I think
Well,
they,
we know it's for
but
no reason, but they don't know. It's always like it's speculative. It's like what if? Like this is the first time we've had two idols, so it's like we don't know what's going on here. We know one's back
you
in the
could just
mix, right?
yeah. I don't know. It made no sense to me
Right.
at all. It was like, how is he gonna find it in like 2 seconds?
Yeah,
Because he had like no time away from anyone. Like,
it's
how
true,
is he
but
just gonna produce one by budding? Like, it's just it made no sense to me. But yeah,
yeah. But I mean, we'll see how annoyed they are if it mattered that much to
yeah,
them who went or not. But
probably it probably didn't. Let's be honest.
but
But
they still got one of them out, and then now Alex
yeah,
is seemingly on an island here. We'll see what happens. All
mm-hmm.
right. So as always, you
Yeah,
can
that's
click the
about
link
it.
in the
Let's.
description to see the highlights of the reaction and come back afterwards for the discussion. Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, there you have it. Alex has been voted out. Survivor Fiji.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like yeah, as a viewer, you want a little bit more spice, a little bit more drama, and they kind of played it up a little bit, but it ended up just being kind of the rote thing you'd expect to have happen.
Yeah.
And that's fine, I guess. I think because like it's gonna be more interesting here on out, I would say, but we'll just have to see.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we can't always have an interesting outcome. It's like sometimes you need the road outcomes to make different outcomes more exciting when they do happen.
Yeah,
But
it's true. It's
um,
true.
Alex was already knocking on death's door, so they'd already pretty much all decided that they wanted Alex out last time. So it's kind of hard to shake that
Yeah,
mentality sometimes, where it's like
yeah,
you were already
yeah,
committed to
for
him
sure.
being gone before, essentially.
Yeah, if you don't want him to stick around longer and have him like disrupt the plan, so to speak, for a long period of time.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it's interesting because the plan is more or less Earl's plan or Yao Man's plan. It's not like Cassandra and Dreams' plan. Like, to me, if they want to jockey for a more substantial position, they need to. I felt like next time is fine too. They can make a play next time. I think they have the numbers to, because
Mm-hmm.
with Stacy along, I think they've got the opportunity to make something happen. But
Yeah.
this would be a fine time to do it too. But then you don't want Alex to stick around for too much longer, and so
Yeah, it's tough. I
hard to
mean,
say.
whenever you go down to this, where it's like you have one person left plus this alliance, it's always going to be like taking that person out will be a good decision for some and a bad decision for others always. So it's like
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
just certain people won't have the foresight until they're voted out. They're the first person voted out of that alliance. Like, oh, maybe I should have done something with him or whatever,
Yeah.
But they'll have in their mind this different how the end game's gonna go. So
Yeah. Yeah, I think that like that's generally how that tends to shake out in most of these. But it's interesting because I almost feel like he would have had a stronger case had Boo not gotten immunity. I mean, obviously, if he'd gotten the immunity, we'd be talking completely different right now too. And he
yeah, and
almost
he
did.
had
It was extremely close.
so close, and he
Um,
came
yeah,
down to him in the with the final three stage at least, and then
yeah.
barely missed it. Then Boo ultimately winning that reward challenge early on with the nasty meat challenge, and
The
then
nasty meat. Yeah,
went on that helicopter ride. Everybody was annoyed with him talking a lot. All
and
this,
annoyed by that man. It
and then
was pretty
he
great.
gets the advantage in the next immunity challenge, which puts him into that final three stage, and he ultimately wins it. So it's one of those things where you don't really
Yeah.
know. You can always be a misdirect, and we don't know now because we never got to. He never had to face the music, but
Mm,
it also could have been a possibility that they were actually considering. You never know if it's a red herring or not. But
right. Yeah. True.
I guess we'll see how it
So,
goes,
I,
how it starts progressing in this final six here.
yeah. I mean, I guess so. This episode was mainly talking about strategy. I mean, there was the elements of Boo being really annoying, and then it was like Alex trying to play into the cracks, finding the cracks, and he analyzed it like almost perfectly. I think he did such a good job figuring out like, look, I think that Yao-Man doesn't want Dreams along, and so he's gonna vote. He's gonna try to get rid of him next, and so like you got to turn on him and Earl at some point here because you're not going to stand a chance without him because Yao-Man's going to want Stacy or Boo along instead.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have to go after Yao-Man at some point here. Might as well make it now. And it wasn't, maybe
Well,
it's he has to kind of go with that because he wants to stay in, obviously. And I think that's I think they made probably a good choice in the end. But
the thing is, he clocked it, but that's not that wasn't unknown to anyone but Dreams. Because Yao Man had straight up had a conversation with Cassandra and Earl about it. Like,
well, no, I know that, but like, well, it's not necessarily known to Boo.
yeah,
Not
that's true. But
necessarily
it seems
known to
like
Boo.
he was primarily like the whole episode was primarily focused on like Cassandra as like the focal point of how this is gonna go, and Cassandra having already had this conversation with Yao Man where he was like, I would
Mhm.
prefer if we got Dreams out and took someone weaker like Stacy, and
Right.
she kind of like reassured him. They shook on it, and he was like, "All right, you made me feel better." So it's not like he was like being deceptive about it. And then Alex outs this, and she's like, "Whoa, I never thought of that."
Well,
So it's a little
well,
different.
no. I mean, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that he did a good job at like being able to analyze it. I'm not necessarily saying that he was extremely revelatory to her. He might have thought he was being that way. I don't know,
Yeah, that's what
but
I'm saying. Like,
like,
he did have the right read on it.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
just it didn't matter in this context as much as he might have thought. Like he's like, "Oh, I'm giving
yeah.
her
Well,
this
I mean, it
information she
mattered
doesn't know."
it mattered in the sense of having Dreams along for the conversation, though. I mean, yeah, Cassandra was definitely the focal point because her and Stacy have kind of an alliance. Like they seem to be bonded in a certain sort of way. Um, just girl power, I guess.
I mean, Dreams
Um,
seemed very receptive to it, though he's also done the same thing in the
yeah,
past where he's like, "Oh yeah, let's do
he's
this, I'm all
he's
in,"
just
and then he's like,
he
does
he
not.
you can he's like thinking about stuff a lot. I mean, he's kind of wacky and kind of weird and seemingly very uh like spur of the moment decision making, but like you can tell that he is thinking about stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
but at the
he had a
same
good moment this
time,
episode too.
But at the same time, it's
But
like he'll say this to people. He said it in the past, like
right.
I'm with you, and then he's completely not with you. So like
that's true too.
but then he'll actually change his mind. So it's like that's why he's hard to read
yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah, very hard to read.
You said he had a good moment with what?
Yeah, it was the letter reading stuff, right? It was sort of the stuff with that. And I mean, I thought it was funny too, where he was just like, man, Boo, just shut up. Like in a helicopter ride. He's wanting him to stop talking.
Character development.
Yeah.
Going from Rocky to Rocky being annoyed with him. Rocky being annoyed with him for talking too much. And then I think that ultimately becomes a criticism of Rocky. Like he's like
talking too much.
Yeah. And then now it's like also flipped where Dreams is saying that about Boo. It's like got a lot of character progression here.
Ultimately, it was a decent episode. Pretty rote, but you have to have episodes like that. Unfortunately, I just feel like most of the season has kind of felt that way. There's been like a couple of some drama stuff going on, like the cool like Edgardo flip, like that was kind of a fun little thing they did there. But like and Michelle getting absolutely decimated because of random chance, which didn't feel good, was one of the worst things. But like other than that, everything's felt very like okay, like it makes sense that this vote's going this way. Like everything's felt very like by the numbers Survivor, and it's been kind of that's why like I don't feel ultimately all that bad that we haven't really been doing power rankings, because it's just like everything feels almost exactly the same. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you do have that. You have that seasons like that sometimes where it's just like, you try to appreciate the character moments. We definitely have some good characters in the cast, some fun players to watch.
I'm still enjoying it though. Overall, I mean, I love watching. I do like watching Earl and Yowman work. It's fun. Dreams is just always has something going on. He has been the most interesting thing of the whole season for sure. So
for sure. I mean, those three have been like the biggest driving forces of the season. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, big time. And then after, of course, Rocky quickly stepped down from being like the number one character. The first episode
where the bully wins. The bully wins. It's just, first freaking jury member is ridiculous.
Yeah, the pre-merge could kind of be rough at times too. It's like it's got some high highs, some low lows here. Mixed bag.
I've been had.
But we're gonna see the end game. I guess we'll see how the end game finishes it out to really get a full picture.
They all have to turn on each other. It's the state of it. So. Yeah.
Anything else from the episode?
I don't think so. The challenges were cool. I mean, you got the messy eating one. I think they've done that. I don't remember which other Survivor. I don't remember which other season it was, but they've done one like that before.
Yeah,
which is fun. And then the other challenges was neat. I like the sort of digging for the steps and then using it. It was neat. And the white water rafting was awesome. Good reward there for them.
Yeah.
Aside from just the letters.
And who would you give the MVP for the episode?
MVP to me, boy. I'll give it to Alex, and because I think he did the absolute best he possibly could have. I think, given the circumstances that he had, he didn't play too aggressively, which I think he analyzed what he had to do perfectly. I think he assessed the situation. He tried his best to get immunity and just fell just short. He then knew not to go in super hard and pleading for his life, but play in subtly. Maybe there's something I can take advantage of here that can keep me around a little longer. Yeah. And it didn't end up working ultimately, but I think he did the best he could. And I think a lot of what he sort of pointed out, I think will be, is going to be
The prophecy, as he is foretold.
Yeah, it's prophesied. Yeah, I think so. It's a little bit predictive of like kind of what's going to happen. What's going to happen next? Like who's going to have to make the next moves, essentially. So
And from what we could
yeah.
tell, it seemed like it definitely had a good chance of working, if not for Earl. Like Earl is really the linchpin here that
Mm,
stops it. And he's like, all right, hold on. And he's like, Cassandra is
yeah.
coming up to her like, no, don't let him. Don't please, just not,
Yeah.
don't do this. It's like, don't let him
Yeah.
lawyer
Don't
us.
even. Don't even. Yeah. Yeah. That's
It's like
right.
I want to vote him
So
out even more now because he's trying this stuff.
yeah. Yes. Like get rid of his ass. Yeah. I want his ass gone.
And you're
He
like, all
kept
right.
saying that the whole time.
And
Yeah.
Cassandra seems to be fully on board with Earl at least, and Dreams.
Yeah.
So it's like she's ultimately seems like the kind of player that would kind of, default to, okay, well, this is what
Yeah.
this is what Earl says, and I'm gonna go with it.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
But
well,
we'll have to see if because I think she could be an easy catalyst for this season. I think, in terms of making some plays here. So we'll just have to see.
yeah, all right, we'll come back next week for another episode of Survivor Fiji. All right, and let us know your
Good stuff.
thoughts on on the episode. If you leave a comment, we'll read it on the next episode of the Tarqaron podcast that we record, unless it's more suited for a season review, which will be coming up not too long from now. We've got only a few episodes left of the season.
Mm,
Actually, this was episode 12, so we
it
have one
was, yeah.
episode and then the finale. All right, we're there, sneaking up on us. So we'll have a season review before long, and we'll be able to break down our full thoughts on the season.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed. Like
Yeah.
the video, and hit the notification bell, and click the link in the description for our social media. All right.
Okay. Would you recommend a video, Zach?
Oh, I redact my salute. I will recommend our viewers should check out. I feel like there's been so many episodes like this where it's like the last person doing all they can. It's like the desperation. Why don't you go watch the episode of Survivor Palau where Stephanie got voted out, and
Okay.
it felt almost like similar vibes. It's like, trying everything I can, but it's like, I mean, it's inevitable. He had to go. All right.
Mm.
And until next time, take care of yourself. Yeah.